And welcome to WEFM's 3 p.m. news. I am your presenter, Rajiv Providence. First, on the local scene, the Stubbs Police Youth Club executed its second and final Christmas community project for 2022 at the Stubbs Community Center, where 11 children received gift baskets for Christmas. The project, which was executed under the theme Love in Action, saw 11 children who lost one or both parents in recent years receiving Christmas gift baskets. According to Area Coordinator Corporal Vito Boyer, only 5 children were initially earmarked for to be beneficiaries, but after discovering that more children fit the criteria, a decision was made to increase the number of recipients and value of the baskets. Losing a loved one can bring some challenges, especially for children, and we are ready and willing to stand in the gap and with our children because they need that support, said Deputy Coordinator Miss Julian London. The initiative was sponsored by Flow Digital and Surgical. Ms. London expressed gratitude to these companies that have stepped up and honored their corporate social responsibility. Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves said the installation of white sand at the beach by Sandals has nothing to do with attracting a certain ethnicity, but more to do with marketing by the company. The Prime Minister was at the time speaking on WEFM's Issue at Hand program, where he noted that St. Vincent and the Grenadines is home to both black and white sand beaches. We hear more from the Prime Minister.
St. Vincent and Grenadines has black sand and St. Vincent and Grenadines has white sand. There's no issue of, as how it is hysterically put on in the newspaper on the front page, the headlines. I didn't really read the story about putting white sand to attract the tourist implication, the white tourist. Well, it doesn't have anything to do with ethnicity. It has everything to do with which market you're going for. On the mainland here, on St. Vincent, not the mainland, on St. Vincent, you have black sands down at Peter's Hope. And those persons, the clientele which they're marketing for persons who will come and appreciate the black sand, the therapeutics and everything else. Sandals is doing a different marketing, just in the same way that Harlequin had done the marketing.
That was the Prime Minister, Dr. Ralph Gonsalves. Prime Minister Gonsalves noted that this is a practice also employed in places such as Hawaii and noted that there is no negative environmental impact as a result of it. Still on the local scene, Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves has expressed disagreement with the thesis that poverty is the principal cause of crime in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The Prime Minister, while speaking on the Issue at Hand program, said that if that were the case, crimes would have been more prevalent in earlier years due to the higher rate of poverty during those times. I hear the thesis that poverty is why people are going toward violent crime. If that were the case, you would have had a lot of violent crimes in the 1930s, 40s, 50s, and 60s, far, because in those times, far more than you have today, because there is more poverty than then than now, far more, and the opportunities were more constricted then, far more than now, the Prime Minister said. Prime Minister Gonsalves later on in the discussion noted that a number of persons involved in crimes in SVG come from well-off homes, debunking the theory that poverty is the sole cause of crime. On to news in the region. The Barbados government has spent over $25 million in the form of cash grants, food, education, and rental payments to provide assistance to vulnerable families this financial year. Permanent Secretary in Barbados' Ministry of People Empowerment and Elder Affairs, Jehu Wiltshire, stated this as he accepted a donation of food items for vulnerable families. For the year alone, we provided cash grants through the Welfare Department to 6,530 persons at the end of November, food vouchers in excess of 5,000 persons. For education, we provided assistance to in excess of 1,900 persons, and we paid through welfare in excess of $1 million in terms of rental payments, Wiltshire pointed out. He said that in the aftermath of the COVID-19 pandemic and external economic circumstances, the number of persons who approached the Welfare Department for assistance this year almost doubled, with 8,000 persons now seeking assistance. Prime Minister of St. Kitts and Nevis, Dr. Terence Drew, says the authorities have uncovered a ring resulting in illegal marriages taking place on the island and raising the possibility that the Twin Island Federation is being used for human trafficking. Prime Minister Drew, who is also Minister of National Security and Immigration, told Parliament the illegal marriages involved individuals from the Spanish community that allows them to be granted citizenship and voting rights. Prime Minister Drew said that while it is possible that some of the marriages are genuine, some of the individuals involved in the marriage ring have been abusing the system by marrying and divorcing several times to gain money. Finally, on the international scene, the Taliban have banned women from universities in Afghanistan, sparking international condemnation and despair among young people in the country. The higher education minister announced the regression on Tuesday, saying it would take immediate effect. The ban further restricts women's education. Girls have already been excluded from secondary schools since the Taliban returned last year. Some women staged protests in the capital Kabul on Wednesday. The small demonstrations were quickly shut down by Taliban officials. The United Nations and several countries have condemned the order, which takes Afghanistan back to the Taliban's first period of rule when girls could not receive formal education. This has been WeFM's 3 p.m. news. I have been your presenter, Rajiv Providence. Join us again at 5:30 for WeFM's evening news, and we thank you for listening.